Hello, everybody. I guess we all kind of know what we're here for at this point, right? Well, Mountain Mama Nirvana, hello. Did they actually find him? Well, that's what we're about to find out. It would appear so, because usually when they find, remains, they'll quickly calm the public's nerves by saying it's not Brian, right? But this time it seems to be a little different. So it would appear as though it could be. We don't know exactly what they found. We don't know exactly anything, really. All we know is they found what is believed to be Brian's backpack. And then after we found that out, oh, by the way, let me rewind for you, okay? Brian's parents went for a lovely walk. They went for a lovely walk with law enforcement, and they were like, oh, look, there's Brian's backpack. And then once we got reports of that, I was like, yeah, whatever, because we hear stuff like this all the time. I was like, whatever. And then I got notifications that, a coroner was on the way, and there was a body parts found, and this, that, and I'm like, what? So I went live. Here we are. And then all of a sudden, we found out the FBI is going to speak. First, it was supposed to be at 4. Now they say 4:30. So now we're kind of just waiting. We've all been in this together through all aspects of this story, besides every time Brian was spotted, quote unquote Brian, and I'm just feeling a little disappointed, man. I hopped on Twitter for a minute and I saw a lot of people were like, yeah, I hope the alligators got him. I hope he suffered. I hope it is him. And I'm like, dude, we don't get answers that way. We don't get very much justice without answers, or, we can't hold Brian accountable, and that's frustrating, right? And I'm having a hard time believing that his parents just happenstance to just, find, quote unquote, his backpack, which we don't really know for sure. I mean, it appeared to be his backpack. I guess his parents confirmed it or whatever, but it's just really weird, and I don't know how I feel about all this, and it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. Like, none of this feels right in my gut, but hey, who am I? I'm just a YouTuber. Anyways, so I know a lot of you think it's a setup, right? Yep. I want answers too, Diane. Tamara thinks it's a setup. I don't think he would have given any answers anyways, Luna says. I know. Who knows? I guess we'll never really know if this is really him, which it would appear as though it is. Even though they're probably going to tell us remains were found, we suspect them to be Brian Laundrie, but we have to do X, Y, and Z before we can make sure, yada, yada, right? Yeah. Stacy, I think life in a cell would be 1,000 times worse than him ending it. Yeah, exactly. It would be better in a million ways, right? I don't know about you guys, but God forbid something were ever to happen something like this were ever to happen to somebody I love. I don't know how I'd make it through it, for one, and for two, I would not want them to just be gone, like poof, they're gone, just like my loved one's gone, they're gone, and I don't know what happened, I don't know why it happened, I don't know any answers, I just don't know, and I don't think that would be hard to live with, right? And as sad as it might be for Brian's parents, if this is Brian, I'm having a hard time even digesting their aspect right now, to be honest with you. I really am. Even though as a parent myself, I want to feel bad, but it's very hard for me to feel bad for the Laundrie family. Very hard right now. And it's just an ugly situation all around, It's really weird. This whole thing is really weird. I mean, Walt Buteau has been in this game, this whole news game, I should say, for years and years and years. He's an OG, and he's like, I've never seen anything like this, and I don't think any of us really have. And I think it's because we got to see Gabby. We got to see her upset. We got to unravel her domestic situation, right? And how shocking was it, guys? How shocking was it when we saw the very first police, body cam footage, and people were like, oh, she admitted it was her, it was all her fault. And then we got the new body cam footage, and we realized that, hey, you know what? This clearly isn't her fault. And then here we are. It's just like, this has just been crazy. And the fact we got to see all of this, right? It's really eye-opening. And I know there's a million, billion, trillion missing people, and that's horrible. Each one is horrible. It really is. But getting handed a map and an interactive like police buddy cam thing, and just being able to just see on their Instagram how they interacted with the world, it was just like a whole new experience in a missing person case. It really is. And I get frustrated, when people are like, you only care about Gabby because of X, Y, and Z. And like, there's so many facets to it, right? That make it interesting and that make me crave justice for this girl, right? I mean, I've been in a domestic situation. I don't really talk about it because it's not about me. This isn't about me. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of us here, thank you, Moat and Mama Nirvana. Yes, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I think a lot of us, if we aren't a person, then we know somebody who has been affected by this, right? In some way, shape, or form. And I know I have at least one subscriber out here who has lost somebody to domestic violence. And I can imagine there's more, and that's terrifying. It's terrifying, right? This is a real life thing that happens more than you would think. And there's a million reasons. I could just go on and on and on. Every person that goes missing is sad. It really is. It really is. I just want him prosecuted. Yep. Chronic Space says, I hope if his parents helped him, they are prosecuted. JB is talking. Okay. Thank you, Shermar. Let's see what Mr. JB is saying here. I do have them up on the screen. I have been trying to listen to them while I've been being a mom and being a snack bitch, but here we go.
Bit here and we'll listen in. Just some chattering here in the background, Walt. Being joined here on WFLA Now by Walt, WFLA 8 on your side senior investigator Walt Buteau. And Walt, the entire world's going to be watching this press conference,
Absolutely.
especially those who have been honed into this story from day one and have not stopped watching and getting updates from us on WFLA and other media outlets as well.
Here's what we know from the FBI. 2 hours ago, would have been 2:26. Items of interest, this is from the FBI, a tweet. Items of interest were located at the Carlton Reserve this morning in connection with the search for Brian Laundrie. Important timeline there, found this morning around the time perhaps that the Laundries were there, according to their attorney, Stephen Bertolino. An FBI evidence response team is processing the scene. That was, again, that happened early afternoon. We've showed you video of that. And then just a short time ago, 35 minutes ago, media alert, FBI Tampa will brief the media. Now, keep in mind, it's FBI Denver that has led this investigation. And these tweets, by the way, are coming from FBI Denver, but FBI Tampa will brief the media at 4:30 concerning today's developments in the search for Brian Laundrie at the entrance of Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park there in Northport, Florida. So that's what we know, and we expect to know more at 4:30. We also know that backpack, we believe, according to NBC, was found near those human remains. We do not know what the remains, how much, the amount of these remains. We do not know that.
We don't really know anything about the remains whatsoever other than senior law enforcement officials, sources within senior or sources that are senior law enforcement officials informing to members of the media that partial human remains or what appears to be partial human remains were found in an area that was previously underwater.
Right.
And that is a huge component here to this story because we don't know how long the remains have been here. But remember back to September, how wet this area was. I mean, we're talking in some areas knee deep, waist deep in water.
Water moccasins and copperheads and alligators, all that stuff.
A tremendous amount of wildlife here at the reserve. It's not all that visible, but we've, gators, you'll find deer, you'll find snakes, you'll find coyotes, panthers, a lot of different wildlife here at the Carlton Reserve, Myakkahatchee, the very rural, vast area of Sarasota County. But we'll go back here live, full screen. Here's how this is going to work. The time now, 4:28 Eastern. We don't know how if the FBI is going to be on time here, but of course we're staying here with you live on WFLA Now. We're going to wait for the FBI to step up to the podium here, and immediately after the press conference is over, Walt and I are here with you live to break down what we have learned. We're going to take your hashtag HeyJB, hashtag HeyWalt questions, because we're going to learn a good amount here, or at least we can only hope that we're going to be provided with some answers, Walt, and there's going to be tons of questions that are going to get asked in the aftermath of this press conference.
Will they answer any of the questions? We don't know. There was somebody, I'm sure they will start, but the FBI would tend to release a statement and then walk on. And keep in mind, again, this is the FBI office out of Tampa, not the lead FBI office out of Denver, which obviously would be the closest office to where the body was found in Wyoming 50 days ago. The body was found on the 19th. So it's been about 40 days, but it was about 50 days ago when, according to various documents, we can narrow down that Gabby Petito was allegedly killed. The victim of homicide, according to the FBI, the victim of strangulation, according to the medical examiner.
Live across all of our platforms here on WFLA Now, and we'll again break down what we have learned in the aftermath here on this stream, wherever you're watching from. JB Buno, Walt Buteau here with you live, and we're going to find out here alongside the rest of the world what has transpired today, what discovery has been made. And even though we're going to find out more, we are not going to find out everything, Walt, that the FBI knows. They're going to keep some information, perhaps most information, close to the vest. But they have called this press conference here for a very specific reason, and we're about to find out what that reason is.
And, keep in mind, they're going to keep information close to the vest, but it is very possible that they do not know as much as we might think they know. This is not a television show. This is real life. But perhaps the remains were discovered this morning. It's now been only 5 hours since they've had those remains. So what do they know? They may not know a whole lot. They may be telling us very basic information because that is all they have. Obviously, no forensic study on these remains. We do know when Gabby Petito's remains were found, it was, I believe, another day or so. That was on the 19th that the news conference was held, that the remains were found, and they identified them as Gabby Petito. But we did not find out the manner of death until, I believe, a day or so later. So patience with the investigators at this point. And the big question is, does this close this case? Is this Brian Laundrie? And do we now have a closed case where we have a homicide, but no live defendant to prosecute?
And let's
find that out.
Begin right there. That is the big question. The partial human remains discovered today at the Carlton Reserve here in Myakkahatchee. Is that Brian Laundrie? Is that Brian Laundrie? So many people, of course, have been on the lookout for Brian Laundrie. There have been sightings. Here comes the FBI. We're back here with you live on WFLA Now immediately after the press conference.
Very good. Good afternoon. Josh Taylor with the Northport Police Department. Thank you for your continued diligence on this story, and thanks for your patience. As you know, the Northport Police Department has worked collaboratively with the FBI throughout this investigation. Special Agent Michael McPherson is going to make a prepared statement. There's not going to be any questions today, but hopefully it answers some of them. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael McPherson. I'm the Special Agent in charge of the FBI Tampa Division. As you're aware, the FBI and the Northport Police Department and our state and local law enforcement partners have been searching the area of the Carlton Reserve for Brian Laundrie, a person of interest in the murder of Gabby Petito. Earlier today, investigators found what appears to be human remains, along with personal items, such as a backpack and notebook belonging to Brian Laundrie. These items were found in an area that up until recently have been underwater. Our evidence response team is on scene using all available forensic resources to process the area. It's likely the team will be on scene for several days. I know you have a lot of questions, but we don't have all the answers yet. We are working diligently to get those answers for you. We are grateful for the dedication and professionalism of the Northport Police Department, along with our partners from the state and local agencies. Complex investigations such as this cannot be accomplished by one agency alone, but there's just too many agencies to name them all here today. portions of the Myakkahatchee Creek Environment Park and Carlton Reserve will remain closed to the public until further notice. This is an active and ongoing investigation, so we ask the public to maintain distance from any law enforcement personnel, equipment, vehicles, and other related activity for the safety of the public and to protect the integrity of our work. We have no additional comment related to today's activities. Our FBI Denver office is the lead investigative agency, and all future inquiries should be directed to them. We appreciate the tremendous support from the public and continue to ask for your assistance in bringing this investigation to close. Thank you.
Was the backpack found near the body? Justice for Gabby! 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 Justice for Gabby!
Breaking news on WFLA Now. Here is JB Buno.
You hear the calls. Justice for Gabby. After the FBI announces information that we have been receiving over the last several hours. Partial human remains discovered here today at the Carlton Reserve near a backpack and a notebook. A backpack and a notebook that might belong to Brian Laundrie, a scene that is now going to take several days for them to comb through, an evidence response team with the FBI and other law enforcement agencies here at the scene in Florida. Hey folks, JB Buno here with you live on WFLA Now. Let's show you that area here again. You saw that there were folks there on lawn chairs. Yes, lawn chairs that have the folks that have been outside of the Carlton Reserve or really outside of Myakkahatchee. Walt, just goes to show how many people have been following this story around the world and wanting updates. And we were talking about it.
Are you
right
serious?
before
Like that's
the press
what
conference
we
began.
that
The answer
like
that
we already
wanted,
knew that.
as
Why
far
am I
as
so
the
mad right
question
now?
that
Flip a
was
desk.
hopefully going to be asked, and we didn't get
Flip
an
a
opportunity here to
desk.
ask any questions, was,
Oh,
is this Brian Laundrie? We did
like
not learn that here
literally,
today.
it must
We
be.
did not,
Listen,
and
it
I
must
would
be
like to
kind
hear
of
the sound
bad
again.
if they
Did he
won't
say
say it.
Mike? He worded it.
Say
It
nothing,
seemed-
like nothing.
Let's say oddly, did he say
That's all we
might
get
have
here?
belonged to Brian Laundrie, or did
They
he
could have
say,
tweeted that exactly,
he might
Renee.
have gone a step
What was the
farther than
point of
it
that?
was, but he did
Why
say
didn't they
notebook,
just?
he did
Why
say
didn't they?
backpack.
Why
Look,
didn't
the
they just
notebook, by the way,
confirm
if it's
it
Brian Laundrie,
on
this is
Twitter?
fascinating,
That
right?
every
Because
freaking
what
FBI
could we learn from that
agency in the
notebook?
world has a Twitter.
What will be
Why
released
didn't they
from
just
that
confirm on
notebook
Twitter?
by
Why
the
am I
FBI?
mad?
But
Why
he
am I
also
mad right
pointed
now?
out,
I want to.
and we've
vote.
said this, you and I have both
Why
said
am I
this,
mad?
we've all said this, very complicated investigation involving
Well, you
multiple
guys.
jurisdictions and multiple agencies that are trying to
I mean,
coordinate and
Sweet
figure
Bee,
out these
part of me
answers. He
thinks
also
it's
was
that, right?
somewhat
Part of me thinks,
apologetic
okay,
to the
is it
public.
that bad
Hold on
where
a
they
second, I have
can't
another
even
feed here. I
say
wanna
if
hit
it's
the
him or
touchscreen. I'm
not?
going
Or are
through a
they
couple
just
different
like
feeds here. They're
keeping
just to
everything
show
under
everybody
wraps like
here.
they always do, kind of
Take a
thing,
look
you
here,
know?
yet another
Like,
shot that we have here now
what
going
is
across
even
the
happening right now?
the
Let me go
front
back and
area
see what they're
of
talking
the
about.
Carlton Reserve. You can see that there are some folks that have gathered here and they're speaking to police. Let's just listen in here for a second, if we can. There isn't much audio on this feed. I just punched it up. So again, just showing people have been coming from across the country to be here, Walt, to be part of the Justice for Gabby movement. You can see the lawn chairs and folks that have brought their own belongings here to camp out here today. You can't go into the reserve, but there's nothing that says that you can't be outside of it. And you can see that a lot of folks here are showing pictures and sounds like they are shouting at police. Let's see if we can listen. There's no audio on this feed.
I
Okay,
saw
I've
our
just confirmed it.
photographer from Channel 8 take the mic, so there might not be a mic at all.
And it might be audio that, again, we don't know what kind of language is being used here, but
Right.
you can see that they're not shouting at police as much as they are shouting at photographers
It looked like
that are here
though
that have gathered.
the news conference ended with them
Chanting Justice for Gabby.
Can you guys see Molly Golightly? Molly Golightly is there. She's in the black. I was pointing to her, my cursor.
Investigators,
She looked like
who
she
are
was yelling.
trying to
She was
figure
probably the one
out
yelling justice
what
for
they
Gabby.
have, and the worst thing
Like,
they could possibly do
this is crazy.
is say it's Brian Laundrie
Oh,
without certainty,
Molly.
and then find out it's
Good
not.
golly, Miss Molly.
That would
And
be worse than us doing that.
Good
I want
golly,
to
Miss
clarify. I
Molly.
believe that we can have it now that
Anyways,
they did say the backpack and other items
I don't even know what to say at this point,
are
you
items that
guys.
belong to Brian Laundrie, and this is now
I don't
consistent
even know what
now
to say.
with
Like this,
Stephen
I just
Bertolino's
wanted
comments
some
earlier
answer,
on
you
today
know?
that Chris and Roberta Laundrie were there at the reserve this morning. That's Brian Laundrie's
You guys, if it was
parents
him and they knew it was him,
participating in the search
I can't think of
with
any
the
reasons of
Carlton
why they wouldn't
Reserve
tell us
being open,
other
with
than
Myakkahatchee being
they don't
open,
know if it's him.
anyone can go.
Why else
And
would they
Chris
not
and
tell
Roberta
us?
Laundrie
I mean,
went
what else is
and
left to
went
hide
an area, as we
in the
understand it, that
investigation? Am I
Brian
missing
Laundrie was
something here?
known to have
Let me know in
have been in
chat
the
what you
past.
think.
They go to
Right?
this area, and with the water receding,
That's my
Mother Nature,
concern
with the
too,
water
Amy,
receding,
right? Listen, if these
it
are his remains, my only
exposes
concern is the Petito
something that
family, as they will never
wasn't
know what really
wasn't, or
happened
at
or
least
more
was
information
in
on
an
what
area that was
happened.
previously
Exactly. The
underwater,
Schmidt Petito
exposes
family
something that law enforcement
deserves
or searchers
answers,
had
you know,
previously
at the
not
very
seen there
least.
before.
You know?
Yeah, and
I
he
wanted
did not
something
say whether they
too,
had
like they
searched
believe
there
it's him.
for
Right.
He said
that
that
Why
they
wouldn't
found
they
articles,
say
that they found articles,
we
and now we know
believe the
more details
remains
what
to
those
be
articles are.
Brian,
Yeah,
but
it would
we're
be
not
interesting to know
sure.
if they had
So
searched that
why
area
didn't they
before.
give
We
us
don't
that
know that. It
much?
is at the entrance
What am I
to the
missing here?
I need to
You know?
Sorry, Myakkahatchee.
I
Yeah,
gotta practice that word at the
it's a
entrance
toughie.
there. But photographer
I don't know, guys.
Jim
This
Hawkins,
is
who's
like
been up in
really
Eagle
weird.
Lake, although
I'm
he's
very
coming
like
down now 'cause
shocked.
there's a
They didn't
restriction
give
now.
us something.
He
Like,
said the tent
we think it's
is in
him. The
the
parents said the
reserve
backpack was his. It was
north of
20
Myakkahatchee.
yards. The
So
remains found were
it must be
20
where
yards
the
from the
two
backpack that his parents
pieces of
say is
property
his.
are sort of
You know, like,
join each
can we
other.
get something?
Myakkahatchee is
Something?
160 acres.
You know?
The reserve
I know they have to
is
wait for DNA and all that stuff.
25,000.
Like, I get that,
So
right?
it's right
But
there where those two areas meet in that white tent.
You know, when they found Gabby, they didn't have the DNA
Hockett,
and stuff yet. You know what I
is,
mean? It's just kind of strange.
The white tent is in the reserve.
Keywords
right near,
to bring this investigation to
Myakkahatchee,
a close. Yep.
River area.
I'm gonna see if we can get an update on
Maybe
where
they
Eagle
need
8
Camilla.
HD is.
Okay,
No,
Camilla,
sorry, wait,
thank you.
I'm
Yep.
just
All right.
remembering
Maybe they
exactly.
need
Okay,
time
so Eagle 8 HD.
to
Yes, it's just occurring to me again.
get the
I
parents
always
to
want
spill their
hit that
lies.
button here as far as going to our news chopper.
You know
Can't,
what,
temporary
Camilla?
flight restriction.
Okay,
The FAA
maybe
has
that
put
is
up,
it, because
we can't
if they
fly
go,
over
hey,
Myakkahatchee right now, so
Laundrie
news
family,
choppers,
this is
and I
your
would
son
imagine
we
that CFR
found,
is going to
right?
be up for days,
Then
because
they
if this
have
is going
nothing
to
else
take
to
days
say if they
comb through
even
this
are
scene,
going to say
and
anything,
forensics and the medical
which I doubt
examiner's
it,
office
but
and everyone going
then they
through
really
this
will
scene
shut
here
up.
to be textbook
You're right, Camilla.
as
Good
far
point,
as their
Camilla. You're
approach
smart.
to handling what
All
they have
right.
discovered
I don't know if
at the
anyone else
Carlton
typed that,
Reserve.
but
It is going
I
to
think I
be
just saw.
it's going
Okay,
to be
damn,
behind.
Gina.
It's going to be behind.
Did you decide on a
not
name
closed
for the
doors, but you know
bat?
what I mean. It's
Yep, I went
not
with
going to be in
Ozzy.
view of the public because of the temporary flight restriction, and we
Yep,
can't get any
my bat's
cameras
name is
in
Ozzy.
there. The park itself is closed. I want to show
The
you another
Gators.
live
I don't
feed that
know.
we have up.
Kim from
Always
Florida
tapping into
said
as
that
many live
Gators don't
feeds as we
usually
can
eat
here.
humans.
And yes, folks
You
know
know?
this front door quite well.
Right, but
This is the home
everyone
in
keeps
Northport,
saying we have to
the
wait for
home of
DNA. We have
Chris
to wait for
and
DNA.
Roberta
But when they
Laundrie,
found Gabby,
Brian
right?
Laundrie's
They
parents,
said
were
we
at
found a
the
body that
reserve this
believed
morning.
to
They are
be
no
Gabby
longer
Petito.
there.
We still have to
As we
do
understand it,
whatever.
we have been
Like,
informed that they
you
are
know?
home, and
I understand that in any case like that, they do the
are
DNA thing,
parents
but I expect them to be like, okay, we
based on
found
what we
remains
have
near
learned at
Brian's
this stage,
backpack,
might
20
have
yards,
lost a
whatever.
Yes.
We
You
do
know?
not know whether or not those remains.
Yeah.
Michael
So
McPherson,
this
the
must
FBI
this
agent who briefed
now
the media,
Camilla's
did
got me
not
thinking,
answer
right?
whether or not those remains
Thank you for your
are in
super
fact
chat too,
Brian
by the
Laundrie's
way.
remains.
Damn, Gina.
They'll have
Thank
to,
you.
of course, go
I
by
don't
the
know if I
book
said
and
thank you. My
go
head's
through
like
the
in the
process
clouds
that
right
they
now. I
have.
don't even know what's going on. But
inside this home,
yeah,
right
that
now,
must be a part of
are
the
two
reason. It's gotta
parents
be,
who
you know.
have, just like
Or
Joe
maybe
Petito and just
Gabby
like
still partially looked.
like
She was
Nicole Schmidt,
identifiable. You know, maybe
might have
Brian's
lost,
not
well, they lost a child.
identifiable.
Gabby's Petito's parents lost a child.
Maybe it's
but
not
we could be dealing
enough.
with
I don't
another
know.
set of parents here in tremendous
You know.
grief from potentially losing their child.
Oh, hi,
To
Shyla.
a
Shyla,
23-year-old
thank
man,
you.
a
They said
22-year-old
partial
woman that
remains.
were
Maybe there
engaged
isn't enough. Oh, yeah, maybe there isn't enough.
married. That is
Exactly.
Justin Schecker there in front of the home. Justin Schecker, known to our WFLA Now
I just
audience as
listened
well.
again. They
And
said it was Brian. Wait a
there is
minute.
so much difference between, I want to make this very clear.
What?
There is so much
Hold on,
difference
hold on, hold on,
between
hold on. Let me go back here.
Petito.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait, I forgot. This stream's been going forever and a day. Hold on. Hold on a second. Let's listen to this again, guys. guys, let's listen to it again, okay? Hold on. Now I want to look.
Made. And even though we're going to find out more, we are not going to find out everything, Walt, that the FBI knows. They're going to keep some information, perhaps most information, close to the vest. But they have called. platforms here on WFLA Now. And we'll again break down
the Northport Police Department. Thank you for your continued diligence on this story, and thanks for your patience. As you know, the Northport Police Department has worked collaboratively with the FBI throughout this investigation. So Special Agent Michael McPherson is going to make a prepared statement. There's not going to be any questions today, but hopefully it answers some of them. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael McPherson. I'm the Special Agent in charge of the FBI Tampa Division. As you're aware, the FBI and the Northport Police Department and our state and local law enforcement partners have been searching the area of the Carlton Reserve for Brian Laundrie, a person of interest in the murder of Gabby Petito. Earlier today, investigators found what appears to be human remains, along with personal items such as a backpack and notebook belonging to Brian Laundrie. These items were found in an area that up until recently have been underwater. Our evidence response team is on scene using all available forensic resources to process the area. It's likely the team will be on scene for several days. I know you have a lot of questions, but we don't have all the answers yet. We are working diligently to get those answers for you. We are grateful for the dedication and professionalism of the Northport Police Department, along with our partners from the state and local agencies. Complex investigations such as this cannot be accomplished by one agency alone, but there's just too many agencies to name them all here today. Portions
Right,
of the
Shyla?
Myakkahatchee Creek Environment Park and Carl.
What appears to be human remains? It's either human I can't even talk. I'm so like out there. All right. It's either human remains or not. Is it human remains? And I'm like speaking like lemon meringue pie. What is wrong with my mouth right now? It will not work. The notebook is new information, correct. And you're right. Somebody just said, it flew right by me on StreamYard, but somebody just said they were able to identify Gabby by her sweatshirt. Because remember, she got it at like a small store or whatever that was easily identifiable. This area was underwater. Yeah, so that's why they kind of just found it, right? But what the heck does appears to be human remains? That's so weird. That's so weird. Was it just a bad choice of words? But they don't bad choice words. They prepare this shit written down. So that's weird. Sharma, I'm pretty sure that the medical examiner knows if it's a human, but this guy talking didn't say it right. True story. I'm sure pieces are missing. Okay, Anais. Okay. Maybe it's that bad, right? That they found parts and they're like, is this even a human? You know? They can't tell because it's not intact and some of it's probably missing. Sheesh. I mean, human bones are pretty identifiable, though. I mean, I don't know. I've never done this. I'm not going to act like I've gone out there and been a forensic freaking investigator. But, wow, there's got to be some reason. So maybe it's not. It may be. Okay, so it's going to be one of two things now we've all conclusively come to an agreement on, I think. Well, three. First one being this is weird and it's all just, BS smokescreen. Two, maybe they are holding out in hopes that the Laundrie parents will still talk and they don't want to admit it's Brian because they don't want to tell them their son's gone because then they'll really never talk. Or the third option is it's just so bad that they're saying appears to be human remains and they're not even sure. So they have to even just mince hairs around if it's human remains or not. Sheesh, man. Okay. Bad choice of words, I guess. I don't know. Obviously, if it's Brian, it flooded after he killed himself. That son of a bitch. I'm really surprised. When I think of somebody who abuses women to any capacity, you think they're like a little bitch and that they would never off themselves. Like, I really thought he was too bitch made to ever kill himself, honestly. I know that's harsh when I say it like that, but that's the reality of it. And I don't know if you've ever been here before, but I'm T-Spiracy. Hi. And I really just kind of say things sometimes. And yeah, must be pretty bad. I wonder how long, if it is Brian. Yeah, I mean, if he's been in water, ugh, gross. Oh my God, coyotes. Okay. And guys, this is the reality of it. So, trigger warning. Foxes, coyote, birds, bobcats, crocodiles, alligators. I don't know. A free spirit like that can't do jail, Spicy Pizza says. Well, Spicy Pizza, you know what? I guess you're right, because the dude was a nature lover, and I don't think he would have fared well in jail. So, all right. Shermar says, T-Spiracy may have been an attack or accidental, not necessarily suicide. Maybe something in that notebook. Ooh, maybe. Right, what's in the notebook, Shermar? What is in the notebook? What's in that notebook exactly? Interesting. Now, if that notebook has been underwater, I mean, hopefully it's legible. I don't think Brian Laundrie freaking thought to, waterproof his notebook. Probably not. I hope whatever is written they can read. I don't know. I have so many thoughts, you guys. So many thoughts. Yeah, guys. I don't know. So I have more questions now than I did before. Stacy, maybe he got hurt / succumbed out there. Maybe he tried his best to survive out there, and he got hurt, and maybe he got some nasty gangrene infection, and suffered, and just sat down near the water and then never got up. I don't know. Who knows? Possible. And then there's always the possibility too, as a million people are saying in the chat. I see you guys too. I see people saying he's not dead. His parents know where he is. Like, I get it. Ay. I don't care to read his stupid thought. Me either. I'm just kind of hoping that, like, there's something in there. I don't know. If it's like a Dear Diary type stuff, I don't care. But if it gives any insight into what took place, which I doubt it, who knows? Knowing Brian and the way he's acted and how he ran away like a little bitch he is, he probably wrote down, like, I didn't do this. Everybody's so mean to me. Can't do this anymore. Love you, Mom and Dad. Cassie, bye. You know what I mean? Like, he probably wouldn't even have enough balls or audacity to, write down what happened. Because why bother, He's a bitch. So anybody that runs away like that is a little bitch. End of the day. Come on. I don't know. Guys, I'm just annoyed. I just really, I don't know. Maybe it's not him. Maybe he still is alive. I don't know. Possibilities are endless. They have to identify the remains, right? What appears to be human remains, remind you. What appears to be. What the hell that means, I don't really know. But anyways, guys. Yeah, it's wicked shady, Lisa. It's so shady. It is so shady. The parents, announce, like, oh yeah, we're going to go to the Myakkahatchee for a little stroll before we get some bottled water. Or after, whenever they went. I don't know. It's really weird. It's really weird timing, and I'm not liking it. Like, the thing I don't like most about this is the fact that the parents were out there. Like, what did they do? Did they leave it there? Did they plant it? Is this a huge diversion? I don't know. Time will tell. Oh, here comes Leon. Now, Leon, if you're new here, I met Leon in 1994 out my front porch. It was a part of a sighting. We've been friends ever since. He's currently engaged to Julie Virgo. Whole nother story. But Leon says, you can't underestimate the power of water. It can be extremely tough to identify a body in water for 2 to 3 days. Yep. Leon's a smart alien, so I don't know. Well, I don't know, guys. This was a roller coaster of a day. I know that much, and I appreciate you being here with me. And if anything, like, changes or whatever, we get any more details, I'll be here to talk about it. But everybody's pretty, we don't really know that much as of now. Planted. Sorry. You think it's planted? You don't need to be sorry. I mean, hey, there's so many possibilities, Really is. I thought all along, up until I heard that the coroner was headed there, I thought that it was planted. And then I'm like, well, why would the parents plant things near their son? Lots to think about, lots to ponder, lots to uncover, lots. But at the end of the day, right now, I'm mostly angry just for the Petito Schmidt family because. And then think of what this day has done to them. Like, they don't even know for sure if it's Brian. What appears to be human remains. Like, they're going to be like, what the fuck does that mean? Is it him or not? Like, they want answers, and I feel for them right now. I do. Here from the UK, your accent is adorable. Well, thank you, Electro. I'm sure you have an adorable accent, too, from the UK. I know, Lisa, I know. All of a sudden they show up and so does Brian. It's a miracle, right? It really is. It really is. But how do you identify a backpack that had been in the same condition? Well, Ryan, I'm no expert, but I would assume that, depending on the material that the backpack is made of, nylon, whatever it may be, it would do much better in water than a decomposing body, I would think. So, backpacks can survive out in water a lot longer than I think a identifiable human could, But hey, I'm no expert again. I'm just thinking out loud here. But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Abusers are cowards. Yeah, moral of the story, all abusers are cowards. Okay, guys, that's all we take from today. Abusers are cowards. If you are being abused, there is a way out. You don't have to live like this. You can look back on your abusive situation and say, what the hell was I thinking? Okay, there is a way out. All right. I'll talk to you guys later, okay? Thanks for coming on. I'm just disappointed. I'm going to go now. Love you long time. See you next time. Until next time. Bye, guys.